Hi, I'm Claus Stadel. I'm a user experience designer at Jyske Bank, which is the third largest bank here in Denmark. I want to talk to you today about responsive web design, and more precisely the responsive web design that we've been doing for our public website, jyskebank.dk. Recently, responsive web design was described as a shiny bubble, more relevant to a content website than a transactional app for a mobile device. And, well, I fundamentally disagree with this. I believe we can do much more with responsive web design than just make what is here described as a content website consisting mainly of images and text. I think we can go a lot further than that, and I want to show you some examples of that. But first things first, what is responsive web design? Well, responsive web design is the concept of using flexible layout and flexible media so that a website can automatically adjust to the width of whatever device you're using. But enough about that. Why should you bother about responsive web design? Well, the internet is no more just about laptop and desktop computers. Today, of course, we have smartphones, and the stats show it as well. Smartphones and mobile phones are taking up a larger and larger chunk of the mobile web or the traffic on the web. So what can you do to deal with the fact that people are now accessing the internet on their mobile phones? Well, if you already have a site up and running, one thing you can do, and as many do, is you can go ahead and build one of these, an m.mydomain.com or whatever, a mobile site tailored specifically for small screen device that has limited content and limited functionality in comparison with its big brother on the desktop. And I believe there's a couple of problems in this. One thing is that today we do not only have two devices. It's not just about desktops and smartphones. We have a lot of different devices with a lot of different screen sizes. And I don't think anyone wants to build a site tailored specifically for all of these devices. And another problem is that these mobile sites, they're often built on the notion that mobile web is only something that you do on the go. And that's simply not true anymore for the mobile web of today. A recent study by Google and Nielsen showed that 77% of mobile searches on Google takes place either at home or at work, and only 17% on the go. So the use of the mobile web is in no way just about something you do on the go. What I believe the mobile web is much more about, it's much more about convenience. Here's a quote from the Google Nielsen study. Participants saying it was easier on the mobile device as I didn't have to get up and turn off the computer and wait for it to boot up. And that's pretty clearly, mobile web is all about convenience. If I'm laying on my couch, why on earth would I want to get up and grab my laptop when I can just pick my mobile phone right out of my pocket? And really, I think it all boils down to this. Here's a tweet from one of my internet heroes, Brad Frost, saying that whether you like it or not, if you're a web designer, you're also a mobile web designer. And I think this is one of the most fascinating things about building stuff for the internet, is that you do not get to decide how users access your content. So you better make it work, no matter what. So how do we do that? Well, here comes, of course, responsive web design to the rescue. This is our public site, jyskebank.dk. It works across all these different devices, and it's just one website. It's the same content. It's the same functionality across all devices. And I want to show you some of the things that we've done on jyskebank.dk. I want to start by showing you what we're doing in terms of navigation. What you have up here is our global navigation, how it looks in a mobile phone. And you can tap this button to access the global menu. You can tap this button to access global search. And if you're on a slightly wider device, you only have to tap to access search. Global menu is all readily available. And of course, on a larger desktop screen, you have both search and global menu readily available. At the bottom of each page, we have a footer, which on a mobile phone is laid out in 2 columns. And if you visit on wider devices, we distribute things into more and more columns. And on a desktop side, we even add this full-blown full-blown sitemap at the bottom. But anyway, that's all about navigation. What about the things you actually come to visit our site for, the content? Now, I've entitled this talk, Responsive Web Design Beyond Text and Images. And that is in no way because I want to claim that doing text and images in a responsive context is simple and easy. There's a lot of challenges involved, both in terms of content strategy, performance, prioritization. But since the topic for this market magazine is interaction, I thought it seemed fit that we take a look at some of the things that we've done on jyskebank.dk, where things start to get a little more interactive. And instead of just showing it to you here on some slides, I think I'm just going to jump right into the browser. And since we are talking about responsive web design, I want to do it in a mobile browser. So here we are. This is a page on jyskebank.dk. And what you can do here is that you can actually calculate the monthly rate of a loan at Jyske Bank. And what you do is simply use this slider to set the loan period. So let's set it at 3 years. And then into this field, you simply type how much money do you want a loan. So let's say 25,000. And right there you have it. On the left is the minimum monthly rate and maximum monthly rate, depending on what interest rate we'll be able to offer you. And there's a few things you should notice here. This, of course, doing responsive web design has been very much a learning process for us. And one of the things that we've really learned is that you need to do things mobile first. You really need to sit down and figure out how we're going to make this work on a very, very small screen. But what you'll notice here is that we have made everything work within this tiny area just above the keyboard. And one thing, speaking about the keyboard, one other thing you will notice is that since we are on a touch device, we actually have these great soft keyboards, so you can give exactly the keyboard that suits the context. So here, we want to input a number. Well, give the user a numpad. And just to show you that there's no cheating involved here, let me just show you the same page. Same page in a browser. This is the exactly same page in a desktop browser. And what you'll notice is that if I resize things, we have exactly the same layout as we have on our mobile phone. So let's jump back to mobile. And let me show you one more thing that we've done. This is a currency converter. And what you can do is you can go ahead, type in, say, 250 euros. And it tells you how much is 250 euros in Danish kroner. And of course, you can, as you would expect, you can go ahead and change the currency to, say, US dollars. And there you have it. And of course, you can do these things directly on Google nowadays. But we are adding a bit more. So on the left, you will also get what is the price if I want to take this amount out of my Visa or MasterCard. And on the right, what is the amount, or what will it come to if I want to buy or sell cash. Because that's one more thing you can do on this side, is that you can actually go ahead and order these $250 in cash. So you can pick them up at your local branch. And that's what we have here. This is our order form, checkout form, pretty straightforward. What you need to do is just go ahead and search for your local branch. So let me just go ahead and start the search. It automatically suggests whatever branches I want to pick up at. And let me just go ahead and pick one right there. And then I can put in my name, Claus, and put in my email. And now I didn't put in a valid email, and it tells me right away, it instantly validates the form, says this is wrong, please go back and fix it. And that's what I'll just do. gmail.com. So now it's a valid email, and I can go ahead. And again, the last field down here, I need to input my account number. And again, it's a numpad. It suits whatever I need to put into this field. Yep. And down here at the bottom, we have our checkout basket. Right now it contains $250, and if I want to add some more cash, say I want some euros as well, I can just go ahead, say I want 180 euros as well. And there we have it. Our shopping basket now contains both euros and dollars. So all I have to do now is just submit the form. And I do that. And what you'll notice here is that I actually forgot to put in one of these fields. I forgot to select my pickup date. And let me just do this again, because right now it's not visible, this error. But once I hit submit, it automatically scrolls up so that we're sure that whatever we want the user to notice on this tiny, tiny screen is always visible. So let me go ahead, pick pickup date, and then submit my order. And there you go, pretty straightforward checkout flow on a mobile phone, and of course things work just as well on a tablet and on a desktop computer. So one of the things we've really learned about doing responsive web design and doing things that are a bit more interactive than showing text and images is that if you want to make something that works, you really need to start by designing things for mobile. You really need to start figuring out, okay, how are we going to make this really, really great on mobile? And from there, once you got that design settled, you can move on and start building things, or start figuring out how you want things to work on your desktop computer, so that hopefully what you will end up with is a really great mobile site that is going to rock on your desktop. So thank you, and I wish you the best of luck at building your own responsive website.